So Marcellus Wiley went in on Stephen A. Smith, pretty much giving us behind the scenes. Since he worked at ESPN as well as Fox Sports 1, he enlightened us and gave us some insight in between why it just did not work with Stephen A. Smith and Max Kellerman. Now, I thought that this was old news. I thought you guys got it. I thought you guys get it. But, I just thought it was going to be just laying in the closet somewhere. But Stephen A. Smith wanted to just bring it out and rehash this situation between him and Max Kellerman. I did a video on it, and I basically told you guys what, Marcellus Wiley just indicated on his show on his YouTube channel, that Stephen A. Smith was very thin-skinned, and he wanted someone that he can son. He wanted someone to just go with the flow, let him win the battles, let him win the debates, and he just didn't. He underestimated Max Kellerman, and I always told people this from the rip. Max Kellerman is heavily underrated, okay? The guy has incredible range when it comes to sports knowledge, when it comes to his boxing. He even dabbled into the hip-hop culture, okay? And, my thing with Max Kellerman is, even though he's incredible knowledgeable in boxing, I feel like sometimes he thinks outside the box when it comes to sports. I feel like where he's weak at is in the NFL, but guess what? Stephen A. Smith is sort of kind of weak there. Even though everyone gives the kudos to Stephen A. Smith as far as his insight in the NBA, knowing GMs and players and things of that nature, Max Kellerman is pretty knowledgeable on the NBA front as well. And I thought from the rip, and I had said this on my other channel, of possible replacements when Skip Bayless left First Take. One of the names I mentioned was Max Kellerman, that's going to be offered this job. I thought it was going to be an inside deal where they're not going to pull someone from another network. I always had a finger on the pulse on Max Kellerman getting the opportunity and getting the shine, all right? But everyone knew that Stephen A. Smith had an issue with Max Kellerman. Now, Stephen A. Smith's going to sit up here and tell everybody when he does his car wash or podcasting that he felt like the chemistry was off. It just did not work, even though the ratings did not struggle with Stephen A. Smith's analogy of him and Max Kellerman chemistry was off. And like I said earlier, he wanted to son Max Kellerman. He wanted Max Kellerman to get with the program, and Max Kellerman was not having it. All right. Now, I thought what broke the straw on the back was the comment T.O. made that Max Kellerman comes off more blacker than Stephen A. Smith. And it just wasn't that comment. Stephen A. Smith was feeling that heat, feeling that tension for years, because a lot of people echoed those same sentiments about Stephen A. Smith, and that was even before he got Max Kellerman as his new debate partner. So the struggle was real with Stephen A. Smith with that analogy. I don't really like Stephen A. Smith's tactics. I don't like, particularly the early Stephen A. Smiths, how he would pretty much attack younger athletes and call them outside their name, and this, that, and the third, talking about their game is garbage juice, even though it's funny, when you're younger, but when you get much older, now when you look at it, you go, well, I think that was a little bit too far. Now, that's the only issue I ever had with Stephen A. Smith. Other than that, I thought Stephen A. Smith was good. But when he was partnered up with Max Kellerman, you can really see that Max Kellerman was not having none of that, all right? And, Marcellus Wiley is one of Max Kellerman's friends. And when Max Kellerman left Sports Nation to go to First Take, that was pretty much the end of Sports Nation as we knew it. When you talk about Marcellus Wiley and I forgot the other girl's name. I apologize. I had her name for a second there. I forgot it. But anywho, it'll come to me later on. But I felt like, this was always Stephen A. Smith's MO. And it's kind of funny because Stephen A. Smith talks how Fox Sports 1 pushed out Shannon Sharpe. But if you listen to the rumors and you listen to the reports, it sounds like Fox Sports 1 fired Shannon Sharpe. The same thing that happened to him at CBS Sports. Me personally, if something's always happening to you, and no matter where you go, it still happens to you, then that's a you problem, okay? That is definitely a you problem. You getting fired allegedly by Fox Sports 1. You basically got fired from CBS Sports. And now, even though you kind of, dust yourself off with the deals that you have done thus far, still, your reputation speaks in volume. And it's crazy to me, as phenomenal and as talented and as popular Shannon Sharpe is, he couldn't get a deal with FanDuel. He couldn't get a deal with Amazon. He couldn't get a deal with Apple. He couldn't get a deal with Spotify. So, or CBS, NBC. He couldn't get a deal with BET, CNN. He couldn't get a deal with none of those networks or none of those streaming networks, digital networks. And, even though he got, he does ESPN 2 days a week on First Take. He's got the Club Shay Shay, collaborating with The Volume, the Colin Cowherd magazine. He does the Nightcap. With Ocho. Those are great small deals, but I always said that he took a step backwards because I thought this guy was going to get a big time deal. All right, now maybe later on when he cleans up his reputation and and this, that, and the third. Personally, what he's going on and conflicting with employees and things of that nature, when he gets that cleaned up, I feel like down the road there's a big deal for him, particularly with ESPN, because ESPN can utilize Shannon Sharpe as well as Pat McAfee. And when Stephen A. Smith deal is done in 2 years, they can say, Stephen A., we don't really have to give you all this money. We got 2 people already locked in. We already done got them signed for extensions. So there's really no need for us to, overspend to get you. But, cooler heads are going to prevail, and Stephen A. Smith is going to remain at ESPN. But I think it's going to be at a reduced rate. But that's neither here nor there about this particular topic. But it's crazy how he, speaks up for Shannon Sharpe, how he got pushed out, got fired by Fox Sports 1. But he did the exact same thing that he's accusing Skip Bayless of with Shannon Sharpe. He did that with Max Kellerman. Now, ain't that the pot calling the kettle black? So, all these people that sit up there and said Skip Bayless pushed Shannon Sharpe out, shame on you. I told you guys from the start, even though I thought it was a money thing, there was a lot of people, Top Sports debate, they even said that now he got fired. Shannon Sharpe got fired, okay? He got shit canned, okay? And I wasn't on the narrative of it's Skip Bayless's fault. I knew it didn't have anything to do with Skip Bayless, more so with the network, which is Fox Sports 1. But either he got fired or got let go of, or was it a money thing, it's still, he's no longer there. And you can clearly tell he wants to be back there, okay? Because when he was at Fox Sports 1, he was doing it for 5 days a week. Now he's with ESPN. This is like considered a part-time deal. He's only going to do it 2 days a week. And on call for Friday if, Stephen A. Smith wants him. But, guys, that's all I got. I'll see you guys later. Deuces.